How's it going on, Agawam? Welcome back to another episode of AHS Insider. To kick us off on Insider today, I'm Chad, and we'll be watching Chadvice. And on Chadvice, we'll be asking students and staff if they made a New Year's resolution.
I don't do New Year's resolutions because every day is a new day, and there's no point in having some kind of abstract number defining when you should or should not do something. You gotta just do what you want to do because it's good for you.
Let's go. So just ask me.
What's your resolution?
I don't have a resolution because I don't want one.
I have a New Year's resolution. It is to make $100,000 by 2020. I like money and I'd like to get a nice car. Good?
Yeah, I do have a New Year's resolution. It is to lose 10 pounds, and that is so that I can get a faster runner and stronger person overall, too.
Smart Chadvice from smart people. Up next is Alyssa with Worldwide.
On this episode's Worldwide, we'll be looking at how Taiwan may be reuniting with China. Let's take a look. China's President Xi Jinping reiterated his call for a peaceful unification with Taiwan on the 2nd of January. China wants to peacefully combine with Taiwan so the governments of the two nations can remain separate, but Jinping also stated that China reserves the right to use force to merge with Taiwan. While Taiwan is self-governed, it never officially declared its independence from China, so China still considers Taiwan a breakaway province. However, Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen said that Taiwan would never reunite with China under the terms offered currently. Additionally, the vast majority of the Taiwanese public opposes the, quote, one country, two systems proposal. Ms. Tsai also stated that China must use peace to resolve its differences with Taiwan and respect its democratic values. Now, seeing as China and the United States are the largest economic powers in the world, this merger would absolutely affect the U.S. If Taiwan combines with China, their economies would also merge, meaning China would surpass the United States as the largest economy in the world. This unification would also make the Chinese military stronger, possibly challenging the U.S. in high-tension areas such as the Middle East. Overall, this merger would be bad for most of the world, as a conflict between major world powers jeopardizes the global economy. I'm sure this issue will be developing over the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned. This has been Worldwide. I hope you learned something, and next up is Positive Perspectives with Sam.
Thanks, Alyssa. Today we're going to be witnessing a New Year's miracle. Let's check it out. Ivan Folkin, an 11-month-old boy from Russia, had been missing for 36 hours in below freezing temperatures. He disappeared in the aftermath of the building's collapse in his hometown. His mother, Olga, told reporters that she and her 3-year-old son had escaped, but that the baby, who was asleep in his crib, went missing in the chaos. The next day, while searching through debris, rescue workers heard a baby's cries. They all stopped the equipment. He began to cry louder. One of the rescue workers said, with the help of a special trained dog, they confirmed that the child was under the rubble. It was the bedding of his crib that saved him from the cold. Ivan was flown to Moscow for medical treatment, where he was happily returned to his family. Thank you. Up next is Quota the Show with Sean.
Thanks, Sam. This week we got more responses from some more people on another quote. Let's take a look.
Alright, so it's somebody that makes a mistake and he doesn't get nervous, right?
He corrects his mistakes.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
I think the question means, the quote means that if you know how to learn from your mistakes, then you're a pretty good person.
It's a person who's cool under pressure and can handle most situations.
So this basically is where you make the same mistake twice. It's, you're practicing and doing, you're learning from it and doing kind of, learning stuff and you know what you're doing next time.
Yeah, I agree with it.
The quote means so much to me, so deep down. It just hits the heart, And it's so great. It's wrong. I don't agree.
Up next is Mike with Shallow Inquisitions.
Thanks, Sean, and welcome back to Shallow Inquisitions, the show that points out those little things in life you never realized were true. Like, have you ever realized that your car keys should probably travel farther than your car does? or that water is a beverage whose flavor is mostly derived from its temperature. And finally, we got a big one to end the show today. Let's say I borrow $50 from my mom and $50 from my dad. That's $100. I buy a shirt that costs $97, and so I get $3 in change. I give $1 back to my mom, $1 back to my dad, and I keep $1 for myself. I now owe each of them $49, plus the $1 I have left is $99. So the question today is, what happened to the last dollar? If you can figure it out, put it in the comments. Now let's see what Ethan has for us today in Techno Tims.
Two of the most talked about self-driving advancements come from Google and Tesla. Google's director being Sebastian Thrun and Tesla's director being Andrej Karpathy. Google is using a LiDAR sensor technology, which is a radar-like technology that uses light instead of radio waves and going straight to cars without steering wheels or foot pedals. Tesla's strategy of achieving full anatomy is using only cameras, radar, and ultrasonic sensors. Pros of self-driving cars are computers can't be distracted, disabled individuals will benefit in terms of public transport, and drunk driving would decrease. Cons would be new tech means expensive product, self-driving cars wouldn't eliminate car crashes, and relies on GPS accuracy.
Thanks for that, Ethan. Now I'm Sophia, this is Healthy Habits, and let's talk about students' health during midterms and finals.
Due to the amount of studying done during this time, students will suffer from lack of sleep. To deal with this, many will turn to coffee and sometimes even Adderall to remain alert and focused. Since both of these contain addictive traits, they can lead to some pretty serious psychological damage. Plus, once addicted, withdrawal from either of these can lead to headaches, fatigue, depression, anxiety, and irritability. A little stress around exam time can be a good thing as it can motivate you to put in the effort, but sometimes stress levels can get out of hand and when perceived negatively can lead to anxiety before and during exams and ultimately affect their academic achievement. In one poll, almost 3/4 of students felt stressed over exams, with many complaining about pressure from the volume of workload and revisions. There are many easy ways to deal with stress. Being well prepared and organizing your time and workload can help address the out-of-control feelings stress can bring. Mindfulness is a more advanced way that focuses on being fully present in the moment and experiencing what is going on around you as that moment unfolds. Studies have shown that this can actually enhance your academic performance and sense of well-being. Lastly, classical music can help you relax even when you don't pay attention to the music. If testing anxiety causes sleepless nights, classical music can help soothe insomnia. A team of researchers at the University of Toronto found that tuning into classical music before you go to bed can help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. Musical pieces without words might be better working companions, as human speech and vocalization is something that our brains pay particular attention to and that distracts you from studying. To close this episode, here's a great quote by Hans Selye. "It's not stress that kills us, it's our reaction to it."
I hope you learned something, and next up is Tristan with Did You Know?
Thank you, Sophia. Welcome back to Did You Know, where I spout off random facts about random things. Today we're talking about something that you can't actually see, but something that you can see the effects of, and that is sound and sound waves as well. Let's take a look.
So the reason we can hear sound is because our ears vibrate at the same vibration of the sound waves that the ears are receiving. Now, since flies have no way to receive sound waves, such as ears, flies cannot actually hear anything, which means that no matter how much you yell at it, the fly will never hear your rage. And also, the sound of thunder, it actually is created by the air particles heating up from the lightning and expanding out further than it should, which then creates the actual sound waves. Now, when we get into the speed of sound, it actually reaches up to 1,280 kilometers an hour. The image that is being shown right now is a jet at the instant it exceeds this speed. Now, there's a Mach system that measures speed, and Mach 1 is the base unit, and it is only at 1,195 kilometers per hour. Now, Mach system measures the speed of sound through the air, and the sound moves slowest when it's moving through the air, which is why it's slightly slower than the average speed that you mentioned earlier. When talking about the Mach system as well, the Concorde is the first passenger plane that ever broke the speed of sound, reaching up to 2,179 kilometers per hour. Now, also because of the way that the sound works, it moved faster through different mediums. So it travels faster in water than air per se. In fact, even 4 times faster in water than air. And due to this speed that sound has while in water, whales can actually communicate up to 800 kilometers away. Since it moves so fast, it can travel longer distances. Unfortunately, sound waves cannot travel everywhere. Since sound needs a medium to travel through, such as air, water, or even a solid, it cannot travel through a vacuum such as space, since there is nothing for it to travel through, which is why no one will hear you yell while you're in space.
Those are some great facts to hear. Thank you for joining us. You can find our episodes on Mr. Brown's YouTube channel, where you can subscribe and like these videos, as well as on Channel 12. Thank you again for joining us. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you next time.